Once upon a time, in Storybook Ending, the speakers found themselves trapped within Aesop's fables in the story Belling the Cat. The fable characters, now mostly turned to humanoids, seemed to expect the speakers to bell the cat, so they did. The universe expected a new moral, so Margie supplied that you can't get things done by sitting on your ass. This was sufficient, and the speakers were transported to a new fable, in which they were on a giant dinner table laden with leftovers, populated by 2 mouse people and 1 Annabella, who dropped to all fours and began sprinting at them. Hello and welcome to Storybook Ending. My name is Loxley. I use V, Veer, or they, them pronouns, and I will be your keeper of stories. With me today is Addie.
My name is Addie, the player. I use she, her pronouns, and I play the character Margie Gloucester, who also uses she, her pronouns.
We also have Danny.
I'm Danny, and I'll be playing Viola Thomas. Both of us use she, her pronouns.
Next we have Killian.
Hey there, I'm Killian. I use they, them pronouns, and I play Tabs the Fox, who uses he, they pronouns.
And lastly, Grim.
My name is Grim. I use any pronouns you throw at me, and my character, Orion Murrah, does the same.
It is seconds, minutes, hours, somewhere in between, probably seconds, somewhere in between before Annabella reaches you 4. Time seems to distort and warp as she runs on all fours in a way that seems like it must be at least uncomfortable. But she pounces up towards you, mainly towards Margie. And she starts sniffing you? What do you do?
Annabella, get up! You're a person. What's this?
Person, I'm a person.
Yes, you are. You are a male person, and you're late with your deliveries, Missy. So get on up, get on your 2 feet. Let's go.
She sort of unarches her back and is kind of standing on 2 feet now, but a little bit awkwardly, a little bit hunched over, like she's not quite as used to it. And she has this very obviously crazed look in her eyes as she looks at you, Margie, and then kind of glances at the other 3 of you. And she says, male person. No, that's not right. I'm a woman. I'm
Yes, you are.
Annabella.
Yes, you are Annabella. You live in Fox Jumps. You are a male person, but also a woman. Yes.
Fox jumps. The fox jumps.
Yes, the town Fox Jumps.
The bastard. He always wants those grapes.
Pardon?
She turns and looks at Tabitha, but doesn't seem to find what she's looking for.
Tabs seems very confused by this. A little taken aback and kind of like lifts a hand to their chest like me.
No, it's not quite you.
It's not quite me. What are you talking about?
And she's sniffing you now, Tabitha. just kind of like sniffing at your shoulder. Says, "You're not quite him, but you're close. You're close, and I got my eyes on you."
Pardon? Tabs is
Margie.
taking a couple steps back.
Yeah, she seems to give up on you, Tabs, and turns back to Margie, and she says, "Margie, do you see them? Do you see the shadows?"
You're gonna have to point me to those shadows you speak of.
Yeah, she starts kind of, her eyes dart back and forth wildly, and then she suddenly goes, "Ah!" And she points to the left. You don't... Well, roll me a check. Roll me like a perception style check. No reason.
Okay.
There's nothing going on. It's probably nothing.
I don't like that. Wait, how many dice? Is it just 1d6 or?
What depends on what impulse you would like to roll.
Great question. Let's do what, focus or reason? Because since we're just looking for shadows.
I think reason probably makes the most sense. We always allow that one for like perception or any sort of similar check.
Gotcha. Okay.
They're both 2d6, right?
Yeah. I rolled a 5 and a 3.
Okay, yeah. With a 5, I think you do actually catch just the tiniest glimpse of some sort of shadowy figure in the direction she was pointing. But when you fully look over, rather than just out of the corner of your eye, you don't see anything there.
Oh. I don't like that.
Yeah, she doesn't either, Annabella. And she says, "Dag nabbit! I know they're there. I see them in the corner of my eye every moment, every day."
I believe you.
How many days has it been?
I believe you, dear. But you have us now. You have me. You have Viola. You have Tabitha.
Viola.
Hello.
I'm sorry. I don't believe you met Tabitha. This is Tabitha. They are Viola's nibbling. And this is Orion. I don't know if you met Orion. He's a new resident at Fox Jumps. You've got us.
She's looking at Viola and seems to kind of recognize her. And she's not quite relaxing, but she's seeming to feel like she's hearing what you're saying at least. And she just kind of grabs Viola by the arms and says, "Did you see them? Did you see the shadows? I'm glad I have you, because before it's just been those damn animals."
Well, we are definitely here to help however you need us to.
"Well, get comfortable, because you're stuck here with me.
Oh, okay.
I haven't been able to find a way out."
Oh. You know, we are particularly good at getting our way out of stories, so just stick with us, Annabella, and everything will be fine.
Stories?
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean?
Doesn't any of this seem familiar? You know what? Don't worry about it. Just stick with us, Annabella. We'll get you out of here.
Okay. I don't want to be alone, so I'll stick with you.
All right, great.
In the background, the country mouse and the town mouse, who are, again, when you look at them out of the corner of your eye, they do appear to be sort of anthropomorphic mice. But when you finally look past Annabella and finally focus on them again, they seem to finally resolve into something less horrifically in between and more just humans. Like, you might describe them as having like mouse-ish features, as in, like, you know, their nose is kind of scrunched up or whatever, or their hair is kind of messy, but not literal mouse-ish qualities. So it's a little less unnerving now. They are just kind of feasting, and every now and then they kind of glance over at you, like,
This is weird. But okay, it's going to be fine. Everything's going to be fine.
2 minutes.
So, Annabella, tell me, what have you done to get out? Just so we don't duplicate the attempts.
Tried everything. I tried reasoning with the fox or asking the lion for help. I tried singing with the crow. I tried eating the grapes, the damn grapes. I finally managed to get those grapes and they were just sour. The fox was right, god damn it.
Did you happen to gosh, how do I put this? Learn a lesson?
Learn a lesson.
I've
learned a lot of things, Margie.
like a moral, you know, from fables.
I'll leave that philosophical stuff to the animals. I'm just surviving.
Oh, I don't believe
1 minute, 15 seconds.
I don't believe animals are quite I suppose the appropriate persons for philosophy, but
She glances behind her at the town mouse and the country mouse and seems to see that they are more human than ever. And she says, something about you four. It's different now. I can feel it. I can smell it. And she sniffs the air.
Something about us is different. What do you mean?
I don't know if it's you or the story, the fables, but they were just animals before. We got maybe 30 seconds. You might want to get ready to move.
Pardon, why would...
What do you mean? Why are you counting down?
Oh, they're counting down.
And you hear shouting in the distance.
Oh.
At first it sounds almost like the howling of hounds. And then it resolves into this sort of shouting, like, they're over there, I heard them. And Annabella says, the dogs. You know the moral of this story, Viola? I'm sure you do.
Right, the country mouse and the city mouse. Something about being happy with what you have. The city is not that great. Oh, what is the moral of that one? I should know this.
well, whatever it is, don't we have to go?
Yeah, and you hear the shouting drawing closer to the room as trying to decide if they're the size of dogs compared to your mouse size, or if they're just... Let's just say that they are the size of regular human guards, but you are still very small, and they are looking around for you.
Uh-oh.
But they step into the room, to this sort of grand dining room. And Annabella says, better humble safety than dangerous luxury. And she just turns and starts sprinting.
Margie follows her.
Tabs will follow as well.
Yep, Viola's sprinting behind.
Yeah, same.
The small town of Pharaoh is strange, filled with monsters, magic, and entities unknown to all but a few residents. Join local priest Leviathan Bell.
Any threat to the divine and to this town is to be taken care of, and as my duty.
Ex-monster hunter Alex Palmer.
I'm not paranoid enough to stop being curious. Fine. He takes the hand. Oh shit, I'm in over my head.
And haunted archivist Ananil Malice.
It's Anna's turn to have a bad day. Opening his little satchel, and he's taking his notebook out, and he's like opening it to the page where he sketched the boulder go.
As they step up to try their best to protect their town and its people from entities that want to lay claim over it. Every other Wednesday, come take a seat at our table, where there are monsters aplenty.
Where these eyes should be are just concave pits of flat flesh.
We're all a little bit silly.
That awkward moment when you just want to read some books and then your friends start having a fight about your free will.
And our characters are very, very sad.
I really appreciated and cherished having friends.
Of Monsters and Mixed Successes is available on YouTube and most podcasting platforms.
And as you raise your hand to start to do this magic, he shoots you. Yes.
Oh no.
Hello, and thank you for listening to Storybook Ending. I'll try to be fast. First, I want to ask you to leave a rating and review. If you don't, the New Year's Vortex will absorb you, and you'll have to repeat 2024, so your choice. You can also share the show with your friends. Word of mouth is the best way to spread the fun, after all. If you want to chat with the cast and other fans, join us on the Actual Place. That's a Discord server with a ton of great actual play shows, including Storybook Ending. Now, the next episode should come out on January 8th. Until then, Happy New Year and enjoy the rest of the show. Annabella is running, and she seems to be kind of concentrating, and she's like waving her hands in front of her face. And then she sort of slows down and seems confused. And the guard, human, dog people are getting closer, but she just says, "Dag nabbit, I can't turn the page. What?" And she turns back at the four of you with a look of horror on her face, and she said, "Something's different."
What do you
mean turn the page? Do you see a book in front of you?
To get from one fable to the next, it's usually pretty easy, but how'd you get here?
Oh, darling, we opened up a book that was on your bed. That's how we got here.
And we belled a cat.
And we found a cat, too.
We've basically been solving problems, haven't we? Well, we solved a problem, and that moved us to the next one. Oh, goodness. I don't know how to solve this one.
You and me both.
So what do you do?
Well, I think first thing we do is, if those guards and dogs are still coming, we keep running. There's gotta be... there's mice. We're mouse size. We've got to find like a hole in a wall, something we can get into.
Okay, we can just hide out.
Yeah, there are like mountains of food on this table. That's kind of what Annabella and the country mouse and the town mouse were feasting on before. But you are on top of a table, and you are mouse size, so if you're trying to get down to get away from the table so you're less obvious, that is going to take some sort of check to safely get down, or a spell maybe, or you can just take the brunt of the fall and potentially get hurt.
There's also the option of like hiding in the food, which is disgusting, but would hide scents from them and stuff, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. If you'd rather hide out on the table, that is definitely an option.
Margie is sort of following. Well, she wanted to follow Annabella's lead.
Sorry. Has this happened before, Annabella? Or is this new? Cause I don't know. We can spend time trying to flip a page we can't see.
No, usually I just go from one table to the next. It's pretty easy.
Well, honey, I don't think that's gonna happen today. So, are there any hidey holes?
She points ahead of you, and you see that down on the ground, the country mouse and the town mouse person have managed to get down to the floor and are running out through a little mouse hole, like Viola mentioned, in the bottom of the wall.
Well, that's where I'll go then.
And she said, I guess we could follow them.
I guess so. Seems to be our only option right now.
Cast light a third time.
Yes.
Float down to the ground.
Yep. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think Margie's gonna cast light because it worked well for her last time.
So wait, did you make it a permanent spell?
Oh shoot, I don't think I did actually.
Oh,
Did I?
dang.
I don't know. I don't know. I unfortunately don't have my character sheet in front of me.
I don't think you mentioned making it permanent, at least, because it is a misspelling.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that might have been for a different spell, like ring or something. I think Margie's gonna go for it though, but hopefully we get better letters, knock on wood.
Mm-hmm. So you're just casting a spell to get yourself down to the floor?
Mm-hmm.
Yourself or the rest of us too?
The rest of you guys.
Okay, just getting the whole group down safely to the floor. Okay. What impulse would you like to use?
I would like to use daring. Just because I would have
That makes sense.
yeah. Okay.
Ooh, 10 letters with 2d6.
Yeah. Alright. I am also open to suggestions.
Let's see. Got a wild card, which is both helpful and difficult too. I mean, no, that doesn't quite work.
And what exactly are you trying to do?
Get everybody down, but I'm literally just putting down as many words as I can think of and I don't know, stretch it. I think I have an idea.
Okay.
This is so Little Miss Sunshine, but I'm thinking of everybody just pushing on like an empty like sauce tray, like a little sauce dish and stuff, and just pushing it right off the table. And Margie casts the spell of ride.
Right.
So it'd be like a yeah.
All right.
Can we ride it down safely, or would that be too much of a stretch to ride it like a flying carpet?
I think you can definitely do that. Flying carpet might be a little bit generous with how graceful it is.
Yeah.
Trying to decide if this will need an extra roll or if it just happens.
Mm.
No, since it's a new spell, I think it just happens. So you direct everyone to push this a sauce dish, you said?
Yeah. Little saucer.
Uh-huh. Actually, you just tell me what this kind of looks like. What's the magic look like?
First of all, gust of wind.
Hell yeah. I was hoping.
Blowing back Margie's hair. Probably not throwing Margie hair's back, probably in the direction that she wants to go. And she kind of just gathers everybody around. She's like, I'm going to cast a spell so we can write this saucer down. I should probably say that in her accent, I suppose. All right, everyone. This might be the best or worst idea I've ever had, but we're gonna push this thing down, like just right off the table, and we're gonna cast a spell so we can write it all the way down to the floor. Who's with me?
This sounds terribly dangerous, but sure.
Works for me.
Well, I'm casting the writing spell. Any one of yous want to cast a crash or landing spell?
I mean, that actually sounds like not a bad plan to have something as a backup so that
No, not at all.
when we hit the ground, we're okay.
Yeah, because I do not. I would much rather get through this alive and not crush all my bones on impact.
Right.
You don't have a lot of time to debate this because the guards have seemingly noticed you as you've kind of pushed the sauce dish and are running over towards you.
Oh, no.
So you have second.
We can discuss this on the right. Let's go, everybody. Let's go.
Yeah, we'll just cross our fingers.
Hopefully we'll be alright.
And then they push the saucer off the table.
Yep.
Everybody jump!
Oh no.
Oh, this sounds like a terrible plan.
Really?
Well, right now I'm kind of like imagining everybody on the saucepan as it's like falling down. Margie's kind of like flat on the saucepan, sort of, with her like fingers like gripping the rim of it.
Is this like is the gust of wind like carrying you down? Because I assume you're not just fully plummeting, because that's not.
No, the gust is of wind. Yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
almost like sort of like a paper airplane, but not really, because it's heavier than that.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I think the spell itself works. I do think if one of you wanted to cast a spell to kind of make sure you hit the ground safely, it would not hurt to do so. there might be some minor consequences if you don't, but you're at least not going to like die on impact because Margie did successfully cast this spell.
Well, let's try that then. Viola will use reason to try and logic
Okay.
out a way to land safely. Oh, wow.
All right.
Okay. That's a lot of letters.
So that's 46.
Yeah.
Dang.
Nice. It's a lot of vowels.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
I
Are you taking suggestions?
will take suggestions, yes.
Oh, that's a good one.
That is a good one.
Boy. How do you say that word?
Buoy?
Buoy.
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 It's a weird one, but
Mm-hmm.
that's pretty good.
Alive? Yes,
Live?
alive.
Alive? I want my life, please.
Hear me out. LIT light. I will never stop suggesting it. And if you have the letters for Helio, you may as well throw it in there.
Velocity.
I'm thinking like velocity in terms of controlling our velocity. So we don't just crash into it. We are able to land peacefully.
I think that makes sense. I think casting the spell velocity wouldn't just be a add velocity. It would be a,
Control velocity.
whatever the context calls for.
Okay. I'll stick with velocity, I think.
Okay, yeah. What does this kind of look like as you cast the spell?
She will do her usual clicking of the pen, and the letters of the word velocity sort of all come out in a really pretty script, and all in a single line, and the line of the word sort of stretches out and swirls underneath the little dish and slows it down.
Hell yeah. Very cool.
And I think I'm going to go ahead and make that spell permanent.
Ooh.
Okay. Nice. It does seem like it could be useful in a lot of situations.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That was reason.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, you have a lot of reason spells.
Yeah, that's what she tends to do. That's just her jam.
That sounds like Viola.
Reason everything out.
For sure. All right. All right, yeah, I think with that, at first it's a bit tumultuous, but as Viola casts a spell, you kind of slowly come to a stop, and then it just sort of clinks onto the floor. The guard dog people, human people guard dogs, that's their full name. They are rushing towards you, but you have landed right next to this little mouse hole. And I think you have just enough time to all clamber inside. And you can see the town mouse and the country mouse inside sort of panting with the exertion. And the country mouse says, "You may have luxuries and dainties that I have not, but I prefer my plain food and simple life in the country with the peace and security that go with it." You are still stuck in the story even as the country mouse leaves. And things are kind of slowing down, but you still hear clambering at the outside of the hole where the guards are. And the universe seems to be expecting something from you in the way that it did previously after you belled the cat.
Oh, what did we do last time? Did we have to say the moral of the story out loud?
That's what Margie did, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, Marge did that. Can't do shit if you sit on your ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be clear, you came up with a new moral based on how you had changed the story.
Mm-hmm.
So this time we've changed it by escaping. So sometimes it's best to outrun your troubles.
Oh, God.
Sometimes it's best to outrun your troubles. Yeah. Some troubles are too much to face head on. Sometimes it's good to just ignore them. I think that works. Is that something Viola says in character?
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, I will have you then. I think the universe kind of thinks on it, kind of ponders. You can just sort of feel this in the air around you. And then I don't want to say the universe shrugs. That's a little too abstract, but also not enough. But I think the universe eventually accepts this, and things start to change. Viola, I will have you roll to turn the page. So when you turn the page to a new fable, roll an impulse of your choice, describing how you make use of it to find your way.
Ooh, okay. Well, Viola is a friggin' librarian. She has spent her life in books. She has read several books of Aesop's fables, even if she doesn't remember all of them, because there's a lot of them.
There are a lot of them.
She's going to use reason.
Makes sense.
So that is going to be 4d6 for her.
Very nice.
There is a 6 there.
If you roll 1 or more 6, add 2 progress to the track per 6. The keeper will describe the helpful, relatively safe new story you find yourself in. So I think, Viola, as you sort of use your knowledge of these fables, of books, of stories, to lead the way, I think you all begin to turn into words again, and it's still uncomfortable, but at least it's a little less shocking than last time, as you sort of turn into the sum total words of your existence. This tiny, tiny script, each making up one of you. And I think you sort of relocate, and we see a forest. Not for the first time, but this time there is a sort of start and finish line set up. You see a crowd of people sort of cheering and jeering and watching on as 2 people, one of whom is very lithe and athletic looking and seems to kind of bounce back and forth from toe to toe, is standing next to a much slower seeming figure. They are just sort of standing there, a little bit droopy, but they sort of seem ready to race. That is not the surprising part, I think. I mean, I can't speak for you, but it's not the fact that you are in the story of the tortoise and the hare. It's the judge. The judge is, at first glance, very familiar. However, it's not quite the same person as the speaker standing next to you. Tabitha, you see someone that you haven't seen in a very long time. You see your understudy, Aesop's Fables Fox, number 2.
Oh.